Nixon, very nice to meet you and lovely to be chatting to you. So Aasif Karachi, I'm a director at Deloitte, responsible for our AWS Alliance across Africa. I guess lovely to meet at the summit. I think it is the Africa Summit event. So yeah, lovely to be chatting. So look, I think from a Deloitte perspective, firstly, I'll start with our purpose. Our purpose is to make an impact that matters. And what that means for us is how do we make an impact in communities? How do we make an impact at our clients? Essentially, everything we do is related to impact. From an Africa perspective, we pride ourselves in purpose beyond profit. And with that, comes a deep responsibility to grow skills across the continent. Maybe just from a global perspective, Deloitte's world-class program aims to impact 100 million lives. In Africa in particular, we aim to impact 11 million lives through our Africa Sustainability Office, and sort of just bringing that back into the AWS context. We recently signed a strategic collaboration with AWS as part of our partnership to grow and develop skills, to sort of drive broader momentum within the market in terms of AWS. And with that, we aim to impact 1 million lives in Africa. From an AWS perspective in particular, we aim to certify 1 million Africans with 2 or more certifications, and we've started that journey. From a South African perspective, we're particularly proud about the AWS Skills Center that's been launched, the first one outside of the US. And I'd say about a month ago, we started our first cohort of 50 participants who joined the AWS Skills program, spend time at Deloitte. We make available training facilities with trained and skilled facilitators to support new learners in building AWS skills. It was a massive success. We've just brought that into Johannesburg. And as we speak right now, we've got the second cohort going through the AWS Skills Initiative at Deloitte. So I guess the point is, how do we leverage the skill center that's available? We felt from a Deloitte perspective to take up the opportunity to leverage the AWS Skills Center that they have put down, and that's become an initiative. How do we play our part as Deloitte to make an impact in the communities? And that's effectively how we've taken that forward. From an East Africa perspective, back to your question in particular, I think the East Africa market, let's say Kenya, which includes obviously Nairobi, Tanzania, Ethiopia, we're seeing a lot of customers that we are talking to that are really looking to digitize their businesses. From a skills perspective, it's also great to see the investments from Amazon AWS in the region, but more particularly the opportunity for digital transformation that exists and the part that we can play as Deloitte in further developing skills in East Africa. So we do have a well-established business there with team members on the ground. We are currently delivering a number of exciting projects in the region at some of the large organizations and particularly in the public sector space. I guess we're particularly proud around what the opportunity is that exists in East Africa, but I think more work can be done collectively to see how we can impact a lot more lives in the East Africa region. I think what is interesting to see is AWS's intent and their willingness to really invest in Africa. AWS not only made an investment in South Africa, but have a local zone announced in West Africa and in East Africa. From a Deloitte perspective, we've been operating in Africa for many years. As you know, Deloitte is 175 years old. I think across Africa, we operate in 17 countries with offices. And so we saw the opportunity to partner together to make an impact, not only from a skills perspective, but also to support organizations and to sort of leapfrog the African continent into the future. I think the responsibility for us as Africans is great. I think there's a statistic, at least 70% of Africans today are under the age of 30. So it's not just about skills development, it's also about job creation opportunities and really harnessing the power of cloud technologies and artificial intelligence, the opportunities that it creates. But I think it goes without saying that we're quite purposeful in the pieces of work that we intend to deliver for our customers. And when I say that, it's about if we make an impact for our clients, there's a broader impact that they make to the broader community and societies in which we operate. So in East Africa in particular, one of the goals of our team is to look at specific projects where we can impact 300 million lives every single day through the technology that we deliver within the region. Collectively within Africa, that number is obviously far greater. But it's about doing purposeful work, it's about developing skills, and it's about creating the next generation of leaders on the back of the opportunities and growth that these technologies bring. Right. I think be expected to see a lot more, hopefully, job offers and posts coming out of Deloitte. We are seeing a growing market in East Africa. I think from a cloud adoption perspective, if the last 12 months has anything to say around customers really embracing cloud and particularly artificial intelligence, I think the next 12 months should see significant growth. We aim to really grow our team quite extensively over the next few years across Africa. We do operate as a full Africa team from a Deloitte Africa perspective, but in East Africa in particular, we have a very strong focus to make an impact in the market and to support our clients and broader skills development in the region.
All right, thank you.